time you feel the world turns cold, like you're outside the love you're.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our series Jacob. And today we are going to focus on the question of identity. In the last video, we focused on Jacob holding on to God for a blessing, and we emphasized on the need to hold on to all your struggles until you achieve the results that you have been anticipating, or until you achieve the results that you have always yearned for. God asked Jacob a question that changes everything. What is your name? This time of the year, we are often told to focus on joy, on light, on celebration. And for many, that's exactly what it is. For others, like myself, it can feel heavier. It is a season that highlights what we have, and sometimes painfully what we have lost or what we are struggling with. And I take this opportunity to pass my deepest condolences to all those who died in the Bondi Beach massacre in Australia, and to all those who continue to suffer atrocities in Ukraine. Let us also remember those who are suffering in Russia due to the bad choices of their leaders. And also, let's remember those who continue to suffer in the conflict in the Holy Land, and hope that soon a lasting peace will be achieved. I also take this opportunity to wish all those who are mourning the loss of loved ones, and the most prominent is Cyrus Chirongo. We pray for the family. We also pray for all those who are mourning loved ones they go through accidents in Kenya. And just to reiterate that we have a lot of atrocities being committed by terrorists worldwide. But what we fail to understand also is that we have terrorists in Kenya, namely the reckless drivers who are killing people en masse due to their reckless and uncaring attitude, especially during this period of celebrations. And we pray that may God bring peace, may God bring healing, may God bring mercy to all those families who have suffered due to accidents in Kenya during this month. Today, I wanted to delve deeper into Jacob's encounter with God, and we are looking at the fact number 9. And here it will focus on transformation. And we find this moment in this ancient story that feels profoundly modern, profoundly personal. It's about a simple question that changes everything. What is your name? We remember Jacob, the one who wrestled all night by the Jabbok River, straining against a mysterious adversary, exhausted, broken. He was at the end of himself, and in that raw, vulnerable moment, the figure asks him, "What is your name?" Now, the divine being certainly knew Jacob's name. This wasn't a question for information. It was for confession. It was an invitation, even a demand, for Jacob to confront what he had been. For Jacob to acknowledge aloud, "I am Jacob, the deceiver. I am Jacob, the supplanter, the one who had always tried to get ahead by grabbing the heel, by trickery." He had to own that identity before he could ever step into a new one, before he could become Israel, the one who strives with God. This resonates deeply with me, especially now. As I mentioned in the previous video, I recently lost my job. Yes, I lost my job. And in this festive season, when everyone else seems to be counting their blessings, it is easy for my internal voice to whisper a different name for myself: failure. It's not rational, I know. But when you have built a part of your identity around your career, your contribution, your ability to provide, losing that can feel like losing a part of who you are. And that question, "What is your name?" it feels like it's being asked of me. Do I hide from it? Do I pretend everything is fine? Or do I honestly say, "I am the one who is currently unemployed, the one feeling adrift, the one wrestling uncertainty"? That word failure, that's my Jacob. It is the identity I have to name. Not to embrace it permanently, but to acknowledge its presence, its weight, before I can even begin to shed it, to transform it. And then there is another layer of this struggle, one that many parents understand implicitly, watching the child suffer. My child is battling depression. And that brings a different set of internal questions and, frankly, accusations. What is your name? Sometimes in those quiet, desperate moments, the name I hear for myself is helpless or inadequate, the parent who can't fix it. I want to be the hero parent, the one who can make everything better. But depression doesn't work like that. It is a relentless adversary, and it often leaves you feeling drained and powerless. To honestly say, I am the parent who is struggling to help their child, who feels helpless at times, who doesn't have all the answers. That's my version of naming Jacob. It's acknowledging the limits of my control, the depth of my pain, and the overwhelming nature of the situation. It's a hard name to utter because it strips away the illusion of competence we often cling to as parents. But it is essential. This is the profound truth that is embedded in this fact. You cannot transform what you refuse to confront. You cannot step into a new identity, a new strength, a new path if you are still clinging to a false narrative or denying the raw truth of your current struggle. For me, naming failure, my job loss, or naming helpless in my parenting struggle isn't about wallowing in misery. It is about acknowledging the starting point. It is about looking at my Jacob straight in the eye and saying, yes, this is where I am. This is what I am feeling. This is what I am facing. It's only then that the question can shift. Only then can we begin to ask, now, what's the new name I'm striving for? What is the Israel I'm fighting to become? For me, perhaps it is resilient or compassionate advocate or hopeful seeker. So I invite you today, my dear brothers and sisters, especially if this season feels heavy for you. What is your Jacob? What is the name, the label, the difficult truth about your current struggle that you need to speak aloud, even just to yourself? Is it lost? Afraid? Overwhelmed? Don't be afraid to name it. Because in that act of honest self-confrontation, you are not condemning yourself. You are clearing the ground. You are preparing for your own transformation. You are making space for a new name, a new identity, a new strength to emerge. Thank you for joining me on this reflection. I wish you peace, strength, and the courage to name your truth and to walk towards your Israel. See you in the next video.